Level one, the retiree, you are 38 years old. You just finished 20 years in the Marines, the Rangers, or the SEALs. You have a pension, but it isn't enough. It isn't enough to pay for the divorce, settlements, the truck payments, and the mortgage on a house you barely lived in. You have a specific set of skills. You can shoot, you can drive through ambushes, and you can survive in hostile environments. But in the civilian world, those skills qualify you to be a mall security guard or a Walmart greeter for minimum wage. You miss the adrenaline, you miss the brotherhood, but mostly you miss being relevant. You hear stories from your old buddies who got out a few years before you. They are working the same jobs in the same deserts, but they aren't making a soldier's salary anymore. They are making six figures. They tell you about the black budget funding that flows through these contracts. They tell you about making 3 times your salary for doing the exact same work you did in uniform. You look at your bank account, you look at the news, you realize you aren't done with the war yet. You open your laptop and start applying to companies with vague names like Global Strategic Solutions or Defense Concepts. Level 20 applicant, the process isn't like the military enlistment or the CIA application. There is no patriotism here. This is a business transaction. You send your resume to a recruiter who sounds tired. They don't care about your moral compass or if you are too moral for this work like the agency does. They care about your vetting. Do you have a security clearance? Do you have a clean record? Can you deploy in 72 hours? You fly to a training facility in Texas or Virginia. It's not the farm with its 9,000 acres of woods, but a private range where gravel crunches under your boots. You stand in line with 100 other guys. Some are out of shape. Some look like they haven't slept in a week. You shoot qualification courses. You drive SUVs through obstacle courses. You prove you can handle a weapon without flagging your teammates. The interview is short. They offer you a contract. The money is staggering, 600 a day, but the fine print is terrifying. You have no diplomatic immunity. If you get hurt, you are on your own. You sign anyway. You need the money. Level 3, the static guard. Your first contract is the bottom of the barrel. You are a tower rat. You are deployed to a massive base in Iraq or Afghanistan. You aren't kicking down doors. You are standing in a guard tower for 12 hours a day, staring at the desert. You wear a uniform that looks like the military, but has no flag on the shoulder. You carry an M4 rifle that belongs to the company. Your job is to check IDs and watch the perimeter. It is mind-numbing boredom interrupted by moments of sheer terror when a mortar lands inside the wire. You watch the active duty soldiers walk past you. They look at you with a mix of jealousy for your paycheck and disdain for your lack of rank. You are a civilian subject to military law, but without military benefits. You exist in a gray zone. You save every penny. You eat at the chow hall, go to the gym, and sleep. You do this for 6 months straight. You realize that to get the real money and the real action, you need to get out of the tower and onto the road. Level 4, the Convoy, Jockey, you upgrade your contract. Now you are mobile security. You protect the logistics that keep the war running. Fuel trucks, food supplies, and construction materials. This is the Wild West. You ride in armored SUVs or beat up pickup trucks, escorting slow, moving targets through hostile territory. The rules of engagement are looser here. If a car gets too close, you show a weapon. If they don't back off, you fire a warning shot. You are constantly scanning for patterns that civilians miss, a pile of trash that might be an IED, a car waiting at an intersection too long. You get into firefights that never make the news. You aren't fighting for territory. You are fighting to protect a shipment of Coca-Cola or lumber. You see your friends get hurt when a contractor dies. There is no state funeral. There is no star on a wall. Their body is flown home on a commercial cargo plane, and the company sends a check to the widow. You start to understand that you are an insurance policy for a corporation. You are expensive, but you are still cheaper than a soldier. Level 5, the PSD Operator, you finally land the Tier 1 contract. You are now Personal Security Detail, PSD'd. You are guarding the high-value targets mentioned in intelligence reports. You protect diplomats, visiting congressmen, or high-ranking CIA officers, the station chief who manages the spies. You trade your fatigues for tactical pants and polo shirts, or sometimes low-profile suits. You move like a pack of wolves around your principal. You are the perimeter protection. When the station chief meets with a warlord, you are the one standing in the corner with your hand near your holster, watching the eyes of the militia members. You see the black budget funding changing hands. You see the dirty side of diplomacy. You're professional, precise, and lethal. You make $800 a day now. You buy a nice house back home. You buy a new truck, but you are never home to drive it. You live in safe houses that change every 48 hours. You start to prefer the war zone to your living room because in the war zone, the rules are simple. Survive and get paid. At level 60, the site lead. You have been doing this for 5 years. You are promoted to site lead. Now you manage the team. You are responsible for the logistics, the schedules, and the discipline of 20 alpha males who are hopped up on energy, drinks, and adrenaline. You deal with the agency, officers who treat you like hired help. You sit in briefings where decisions are made that will never be acknowledged. You plan the routes. You assess the threats. You realize that the client, the government, doesn't care about your men. They care about the package. If the station chief survives but 3 of your guys die, the mission is a success. You have to write the emails to the company headquarters explaining why a vehicle was destroyed or why a weapon was fired. You are the buffer between the corporate suits in Virginia and the blood on the ground. The stress is different now. It's not just about getting shot. It's about liability. It's about ensuring the company doesn't get sued while operating in a country where laws are just suggestions. Level 7, the SETI Auxiliary, you are recruited for a specialized contract. You are working directly with the CIA's Special Activities Division, SAD. You are one of the 4 contractors attached to a paramilitary team. You are the extra gun. You go where the military cannot legally go. You operate in countries where the US is technically allies or technically enemies. You aren't wearing a uniform. You are wearing local clothes, growing a beard, and carrying an AK-47. You are deniable. If you are captured, you aren't an American soldier. You are a rogue tourist or a criminal. The agency officers rely on you because you have more combat experience than they do. You kick down doors and clear rooms alongside them. You see the intelligence collection up close, the laptops, the phones, the prisoners. You are operating completely outside the Geneva Convention. There is no legal framework for what you are doing. You are a ghost with a gun, paid by a shell company that leads back to a PO box in DC. Level 80, the mentor, the mission shifts. The government wants to train local forces to fight their own wars. You become a mentor. You are dropped into a remote outpost to train an Afghan militia or a foreign commando unit. These men might have fought with the Taliban before switching sides. Loyalties are fluid. You teach them how to shoot, how to clear buildings, and how to call in airstrikes, but you never turn your back on them. You sleep with your pistol under your pillow. You know that for the right price, your students would sell you to the enemy. You are building an army for a government that might not exist in a year. You are handing out weapons and cash. You wonder if the men you are training today will be the ones shooting at Americans tomorrow. It feels futile, but the contract pays a bonus for hazardous duty. You rationalize it. You are just a teacher. You are just doing a job. But deep down, you know you are pouring gasoline on a fire. Level 90, the enhanced technician. You're moved to a specific facility, a black site. The CIA officers are the ones asking the questions, but they need contractors for the logistics. You are the guard who handles the prisoners who have no rights and have no official existence. You aren't the interrogator, but you are the one who keeps the prisoner awake. You are the one who sets up the room. You witness the enhanced interrogation techniques, the waterboarding, the stress positions. The lawyers in Washington say it's legal, but standing there, smelling the fear and the sweat, it doesn't feel legal. You are told this saves lives. You are told these people are terrorist leaders. You detach yourself, you compartmentalize, just like the agency officers do. You tell yourself you are just providing security, but you are an accessory to things that would be war crimes in any other context. The money is incredible, but you can't tell your wife what you do. You can't tell anyone. You just say you work in logistics. Low level, the fixer, you move out of the direct line of fire and into the shadows. You are a fixer. You work for a company that supports the non-official covered officers. You arrange things. You rent the safe houses. You buy the cars. You bribe the local officials at the airport to look the other way when a crate arrives without paperwork. You are the grease in the gears of the machine that runs on secrets. You carry a bag full of cash, black budget funding. You operate in cities like Beirut or Tripoli. You have no backup. If you get arrested, you are just a corrupt businessman. You are facilitating operations that change the course of history, but you are doing it from the seat of a rental car. You see the corruption of the world up close. You realize that everything is for sale: information, loyalty, access, and lives. You have become a master of the gray market. You have lost faith in governments, flags, and causes. The only truth is the transaction. Level 11C, the shadow operator. You are now at the highest level of the private world. You work for a company that barely exists on paper. You are hired for specific, sensitive tasks that even the CIA won't touch directly. You are the plausible deniability. Maybe it's a kidnapping. Maybe it's a targeted assassination in a country where drone strikes are forbidden. You are part of a small team of former Tier 1 operators. You are expendable assets. You fly in on private jets, use encrypted comms. You do the job and you vanish. You are the men who make the bodies pile up. You have no rules of engagement other than don't get caught. You are a mercenary in the truest sense. You aren't fighting for your country anymore. You are fighting for the contract. The lines between good guy and bad guy have completely dissolved. You are a professional predator. You justify it by looking at your offshore bank account, which is now full of money you can never explain to the IRS. Level 20 the scapegoat. Eventually, the luck runs out. It always does. An operation goes wrong. Civilians are killed, maybe women and children, or a video surfaces on the internet. The New York Times runs a front page story. The government needs someone to blame. They can't blame the CIA officer. He has diplomatic immunity or is protected by the agency. They blame the contractors. You are the rogue element. You are the cowboy. The company you work for dissolves overnight and rebrands under a new name. You are left holding the bag. You face legal inquiries. You are dragged before congressional committees, or worse, you are abandoned in a foreign jail, prosecuted under local laws. The State Department will deny you exist. The protection you thought you had was an illusion. You realize that despite the 3 times the salary, you were never part of the club. You were just hired help. You were the insulation for the people who actually run the world. Level 113T, the broken asset. You are home now. Your career is over. You are 45, but your body feels 70. You have the same knees that ache and ringing in your ears as the station chief, but you have no VA hospital to go to. You have no government pension. You have millions of dollars, but you have no peace. You can't sleep without medication. You wake up screaming. You walk the perimeter of your large estate at 300 a.m. looking for threats that aren't there. You can't relate to civilians. They complain about traffic or taxes, and you remember the smell of burning bodies in a mud compound. You are a ghost in your own life. You have no medals to hide in your closet. You have only non-disclosure agreements and the knowledge of what you did. You watch the news and see a new war starting, and you know there is a young kid somewhere filling out an online application, thinking it's going to be like Jason Bourne. You pour a drink. You know the truth. It's just business.